Hello, I'm Gail Marie, and thanks for joining me at 6 Dimensions of Healing. Did you know your perception becomes a reflection in your life? That means that the thoughts you have and the opinions you form, which are then your perception, are creating your reality. The difference between a perception and a belief, in fact, is that a perception is based on your mood and how you feel right now. A belief is the perception that you've thought over and over and over. When you think a thought over and over again, it becomes entrenched in your mind and it's something you believe. We call that our beliefs. And these are actually man-made or person-made. They're not something we were born with. As a baby, we weren't born with beliefs. We were born with knowings, but they're different again. We weren't born with beliefs. But it's our perceptions I'd like to talk about today, because our perceptions are those that create our reality, and they're just so very important to understand. The reason that is because you have absolute control over your perception, and yet your perception is creating your future. So if there's nothing else that you do in this lifetime but take control of your perceptions, become aware of them and change them in a direction that serve you, then your life will unfold beautifully. So what are perceptions? Well, a perception is formed as an opinion, and that opinion is created by us. It's from thoughts that we think, it's by something we've observed, it's from somebody outside of us, somebody who's tried to give us an opinion of their own. They have a hidden agenda. Often the media is good at this. For example, the media will give you a lot of hype about politics. Whether they're for Donald Trump or they're against Donald Trump is irrelevant. It helps you to form an opinion. And when you have that opinion, that is your perspective. Now, you can have as many perspectives and opinions as you like, but do understand that how you feel about that opinion becomes your perspective. And that perspective, in that moment, is creating what comes next in your life. And that's how you create your very own reality, not from somebody else. A common perspective in life is that other people create our reality. We don't have any control over our own life. It's luck when something wonderful happens. If I want success, then I need to be lucky. Now, successful people know this isn't true. But if you're on one side here, wanting to be successful, trying to get to the other side, then in that gap there, it's logical, it's not real, but it's logical to think that there's some luck involved. However, our luck is determined by us and our perspective on life. The better things get in life, the better they get. So you may have noticed that when things are working for people, when they get things come to them that you're envious of, they get more and more and more of it, and it's like they're in this stream of luck. Well, there's no such thing, but what they have put themselves into is a perspective of things working for them. So rather than where you're standing of things not working and I need someone to give me a hand up and this is really difficult, they've moved into the perspective of things are working out for me and all I have to do is just chill, and the next thing comes and the next thing comes and the next thing comes. There's a saying that goes, if you can think it and dream it, you can create it. And that's quite true. However, there is a big gap from thinking and dreaming to creating. There are many people that think and dream and yet don't seem to be able to manifest. And so it's that gap that we want to talk about today. And that gap is in your perspective. So from the perspective of becoming the thinker and the dreamer and the perspective of becoming the creator, there's a big leap. So think it and dream it and imagine it is one thing, but becoming it and knowing it and standing in it is something quite different. And what's the gap? What is that leap that we can make? What's the bridge that crosses from where we are to where we want to be? And a lot has to do with our perspective. When we believe that yes, things can happen for us, but they're just not quite working yet, then our perspective is of lack. It's like we don't have what we want yet. And as long as we think we don't have what we want yet, there remains that gap. And so what we're wanting to do today is to close that gap, to go from thinking and imagining it and believing it to actually knowing it and standing in it and having it come to us in all its beautiful form, and having that pleasure of it unfolding before us as we watch it come into manifestation. So what I've found I use to bridge that gap and to harness my perceptions, so turn them around from those that are not supporting to those who are really uplifting, I use the golden light. And I tend to vortex golden light around everything. So when I'm thinking something that doesn't feel good, and I know that's my perception, I wrap golden light around it. When my thoughts think to a person that is not quite harmonious, I wrap golden light around that too. And often I find myself wrapping golden light, wrapping golden light, wrapping golden light, because we are very, very good at having all these hundreds of different subjects come up almost simultaneously. One will flash, another will flash, another will flash, another will flash, and we're so good at this that we don't realize that we have one mood with that, one mood with that, one mood with that, one mood with that. And we're creating all these different moods that can either be supportive or they can be detrimental to where we're going and what we want in life. So to calm that all down and have it being a nice, even bridge, I use golden light to wrap around each of those subjects. We are so multifaceted as human beings that we can think many different subjects flashing one after the other. And so I wrap all those subjects, all those emotions, all those people in beautiful golden light. And what I find that does is it just subdues my opinion on the subject. I get time to decide whether I want an opinion or not. It's not then automatic for me to have that opinion, have the response, have a perception, and then create from that perception. I'm no longer doing that. I find myself, as soon as I wake up in the morning, the first thoughts that I have that I'm not even aware of, I've begun now to wrap golden light around it. And when I observe that, I think just as well I did, because they're not always the best thoughts for first thing in the morning. They're not the thoughts that I want to carry through my day to create my future and my tomorrow, my reality. They're not things that are going to help me manifest my dreams. And because I want to stand here in that wonderful dream that I've created and know it and feel secure in it and just be amplified for the energy that's actually standing in this dream, I use golden light. And what that also does is, because I'm eliminating the resistance, it's helping me just feel ease. It's helping me to feel joy. It's helping me to feel inspired. I have so much energy. It's helping me create clarity in my life so that I have more desires, more inspirations, more ideas, and more joy to do it with in my life. Wrap your subject in golden light. Wrap the people in golden light. And there's no reason not to do this each and every moment. if that's what you need. And you'll find that as you do that, that beautiful joy will just flow through you from top to bottom. And you'll start to vibrate in that wonderful emotion of allowing. The golden light is what I use to keep my perceptions tuned to what I want in life. And then I don't need luck. I don't need someone to say, here's a hand up. I don't need to blame anybody for things not working out for me, because I know I have control. And when I have control over my life, I feel powerful. And the golden light allows me to stay away from all those things that stop me from creating and being the person that I really am. So if you find that you dream and you really want something and you really can imagine what it's like, and then you're noticing that you don't have it, what you need to do is to close that gap. So try this golden light, use it, and you wrap it around everything, or you can sprinkle it, do it whichever way you like. But I wrap a vortex and that works for me. So use the golden light to bridge the gap from I want and travel over the top of I don't have to this is me standing in my power now. And I know this is coming because it feels so good. Thanks for listening. And if you'd like more like this, then press the subscribe button now and you'll get to hear more videos like this one. Thanks for joining me at 6 Dimensions of Healing.